Because
As long as you don't pull your face back, because I think if you pull your face back, that's when you run into issues.
I have no face to pull back. I think I mean, this is it. I was sitting on a conference call earlier, and I was sitting for some reason. I was sitting like this. I don't know why, and it looked like just head and shoulder, and I was like, is my shoulder that big?
It's
I was like,
crazy.
why my shoulders look like that?
That's funny. Because that be the thing that I always look at when people going through their weight loss journeys. And you know, there's several ways to lose weight. But that head don't ever shrink, huh?
Never.
No, no.
Never.
It's like whatever super wide face they had or fat face, like your bone structure is just there. Luckily, I've always had like a strong cheek and jawline. So like I was able to carry it before, but now like you can tell it's more svelte now. And so I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, but yeah, I don't need the head ain't going nowhere. The face ain't going nowhere. This is it.
I had a joke.
What you got?
It said you used to call your jawbone. It came on my Facebook. That scene.
Oh shit.
That came on my Facebook.
I'm gonna stop fooling with you. I'm not you clown me.
He said, "Oh, I know where I remember you from."
Yeah, that's where I remember you from. I ain't
Now
gonna
I
say
always be looking at people like, "Why your shoulders so little?" Oh, your shoulders are little. Your head is large as a motherfucker.
I know if I lose weight, I'm gonna look like a bad geometry math problem. 5 thick shoulders.
What's that boy built like a trapezoid, ain't it?
I'm an upside down triangle.
I mean, you just never know what your body really looks like. Like, if you start really stripping away like the fat and stuff, you be like, "Is this what I look like? Is this what my body looks like?" It's the weirdest thing.
I don't know, man. I just know I'm happy that you feel happy. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy that you happy.
And thank you, thank you,
Yeah,
thank
that's
you.
a real shit.
It is a real shit. Like today, my daughter starts Girls on the Run fall season tomorrow. And if are we live yet?
We
Okay,
been live. Hold
okay.
on, cuz I'm gonna let you get to that. Thank y'all for tuning in. This is
I
the
do think you're
BOTB
live,
live
but I
show.
just want to make sure. So I'm gonna do a shameless plug. So Girls on the Run is just this amazing organization for anybody who does not know, but it supports teaching girls to run as a way to build self-esteem, right? It's a nonprofit, of course, and they have them in schools and like community organizations all over the country, right? And they literally teach girls like running as a sport and as therapy, building their bodies up, their endurance up, and things like that. And at the end of each semester, each season, they have the girls do a 5K. And the thing is, I didn't know last year when my daughter did it that she had to. I knew she had to do the 5K. What I did not know is that she had to have parental me to do it with her, right? I didn't know I had to do it with her. And when I tell you, you never know how small your village is until you ask somebody to do a 5K for you, and absolutely nobody will do it. Let me just tell you that right now. You cannot get anybody in your, at least not in my black village, can get
Okay.
anybody to do a 5K in my place, right? So that my baby can have an adult, accompany her. So I had to do it myself, and I was not happy about it. But I did it, right? I want to tell you, it was the coldest day of the whole winter 2024. It was the coldest day.
Mm.
So cold. We was out there like in freezing cold. But we got it done. So this year, her season starts tomorrow. And for once, I wasn't like, oh my God. I was just like, all right, well, we just gotta keep going. I'm like on Amazon looking for me some Miro sneakers. Like, okay, well, what kind of shoes I'm gonna wear for this? Like I wasn't dreading it because I've been doing the work, walking. I mean, y'all see my walk with me videos. And just trying to keep in shape and not get so far out of shape. Like I may not get to it as many days out of the week as I want to because this is my busy season for work. But I try to get in like 1 or 2 good walks a week. just to kind of keep the blood flowing and keep everything moving. And so, and I try to make sure that I walk at least like a mile to a mile and a half away from my car so that I have to walk that far back. And so that when I got to do this 5K, I'm not in shock because it's like, man, I've only been walking for like, a mile and now I got to walk 3.1 miles. No, if you've already been walking a mile and a half from your car, you got to walk a mile and a half back. That's 3 miles. You're at your 5K right there.
You can make friends with some Kenyans, some Cameroonians. Who else be running over there? Kenyans, Cameroonians. Is it the Congo? I know it's you in Atlanta, cause you can meet some running ass Africans.
I probably could meet some running Africans. I'm not going to run. We're not trying to conquer the world. We just want to get them across the finish line.
No, I'm just saying, like, in case you don't make it, that's your stand-in.
In case I don't make it, I'll just Uber.
You said, in case you didn't make it,
I'll just Uber.
I'll tell you, I'll be at the start line with you and at the finish line with you.
I'll take it because we need people. I'll take it. We need people that can finish the start line and even halfway line cheering people on with banners and posters and stuff. So I will even take that.
So I will be at the start line and I will drive to the finish line to meet you on the other end.
Okay, then.
Yeah, like I said, man, like running. The Army pulled all that out of me, cuz. Oh, yeah. When you have to run, when you don't want to run, it put a disdain on it.
Oh, yeah.
For some people. Some people thrive in that. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't one of those. I remember the first time when I got to basic training, it was like, all right, cuz we need to see where you at. So we gonna run this 2 miles. I probably ran 2 miles throughout the course of a day as a kid. But all at one time, I had never run 2 miles, guys. My first run was 26 minutes.
I can't
8 weeks from then, I had to be down to 16 minutes.
How close did you get?
What you mean? I wasn't gonna go. I wasn't gonna be in the Army if I didn't get there.
Okay, so you made it.
Yeah. I think my fastest time was Korea. That's like my second year in the military. I did it in 12 minutes.
Oh wow! Okay, you did good. Nice.
Yeah, but that is by force, not by choice.
And you was like,
but I'll tell you what did it though. We had this woman, specialist hell. Specialist hell was like a Vietnamese lady. She was like 4 foot. Like if she was barely 5 foot if she was 5 feet at all. Hell ran 2 miles in like 9 minutes and 17 seconds.
Nope.
I think that's the only reason why I kind of upped my level. That's my fastest time. But shit, she was back and she wasn't even breathing hard no more when I crossed the finish line. She was like, "Good job, kid."
I feel like I can walk with anybody as long as you walk at my pace. Like I don't walk slow. So anything more than what I'm walking is like a soft jog. So I can walk with anybody. I'll say that.
So that's me. I can walk you all day long, and I'm like that too. Like I'm not a super fast walker. 1, I'm clumsy. 2, my knee is bad. So I'm not going to be out here doing a whole lot, right? Like it's going to be at a slow pimp's pace. And that's what I had to tell my daughter last year. I was like, look, this is the pace we keeping. And she was just like, can we go any faster? We cannot go any faster. This is the pace I got. You like, take it or leave it. We can stop right now. We're closer to the start line right now if we stop. So, but, I'm a little bit better right now. When I did the 5K in June, yes, my time for the same route was like 5 minutes faster than when I did it last year. So, and
huge improvement.
Getting a little better and everything. So I'm hoping that it won't be as bad. Hopefully, gosh, it won't be as cold as it was last year. Because it was like 16 degrees. like that kind of cold out there. And when you just not really like prepared for that kind of cold, it's just like, I just want to make it, So hopefully it won't be as bad. But yeah, I can walk it. I might give it a little speed walk. I might even try and light jog it, just a tap. But I blew my knee out playing kickball during COVID. When everybody was like on lockdown or whatever.
You forgot how old we is?
I'm about to say. She got it.
You was just in the kickball spirit, just out the blue.
During like COVID, everybody was like with whoever you was with, y'all just had to make the best of it. And I was at my mama's house with the family, and so like one day we was like, oh, let's have a kickball game. We ain't doing nothing else. And then, but yeah, my knee was like, no, we're not doing that. And so it ain't been right ever since. And then, when you've had thick thighs all your life, your knees tend to get out of alignment, and then when you get smaller, they don't necessarily go back into alignment without surgical assistance. And so that's kind of where I am. Like, I probably do need to have a knee replacement of some sort. I just don't want to do it. Because I
still wear a knee brace.
Yeah, I'm still like, hey, when I tell you I would take the mess out this knee, I would have all the KT tape in town on this knee, holding it together and in place. And I swear it worked.
But it's crazy. It's crazy saying because people talk about Fat Joe and Rick Ross talking about why they walk like that. Don Staley, why you walk. But that's the reason when you lose that weight or you reverse, you small, you gain the weight. It's a lot of pressure on your knees. People don't understand that.
Yeah, your knees are.
It's gravity, man.
If your thighs have been, so if you've had big thighs, ideally it should be like this, right? But if your thighs have been thicker, then your knees, you probably have been like not kneed, and then like you seen people like at the knee and their legs go out like this, it pushes. So all that time, your knee is just getting out of alignment, and it's just going further and further out of alignment, and it doesn't necessarily just come back in just because you lost the weight.
Kenny Smith should have had a surgery because I don't know what he was thinking about.
Who?
Kenny Smith.
Kenny Smith is a basketball player, but he been knocked knee now, and he got big. He got a little bit bigger than what he was, but he a lifetime athlete. He didn't get like super huge. You know what I'm saying? But he been knocked knee for 20 years because I don't know why he didn't fix that shit.
Yeah, he and ain't gonna fix it either.
That's a lot, but that's a lot of pressure. I know, like when I was walking, I got a weighted vest, and that was about a 25-pound weighted vest. So with my weight and that, I could do a little over a mile in like 26 minutes.
Okay, you're doing good.
Yeah, I mean, with the weighted vest, yeah, that's and I still go further, but that's just me walking around my neighborhood. I got a route that I go around the neighborhood. It's about all the way around back to the house, like a mile and mile 0.2.
Okay.
I ain't walking past my mailbox, cause I ain't gonna lie.
Hey, you got to get past the mailbox, bro.
Yeah, hell nah.
You got a lot of more. It's a lot of more living still left to do. You got to get past that mailbox.
Right. And if I'm gonna live, I need to keep this kinetic energy that I have right now. You feel me?
No, but while you playing, just go to your mailbox, and then the next time you go to like 2 houses down mailbox, and you just build on it. That's kind of what I learned too. It just keep building on something like so. When I did the mile thing, it was walk to the stop sign around the corner.
Yeah.
And I did that a couple times, and something said, "Man, go ahead and walk down this hill." Now, when I walked down that hill, I realized I had to come back up that hill.
Yeah, that's the difference.
That is correct.
But then, once I started playing music, I started turning on like T.I. album, like an album I really want to listen to. You don't realize how far you walking. It's almost like when you was a kid on a bike, you don't realize how far you rode your bike because your mind is somewhere else. That's kind of how I feel when I started walking.
What's your go-to workout music?
It depends on what I'm doing. Truthfully, like if I'm doing that, I'm either listen to like the T.I. joint. I ain't listen to nothing too crunk or DJ Crit, not our partner. He loads his mixes on the internet and you can listen to it for free. So I just listen to his mix because his mix is right at 30 minutes.
Okay.
So my goal is it's about to go off how far am I away from the house.
Okay.
So if I'm a little further, I'll just pick up my pace. As long as I beat his music, because his music is right at 30 minutes, his mix. But any other than that, ATL's album, something I could just float to.
That's about right.
I ain't gonna lie, cause I've been in my '80s bag. I've been on that Bon Jovi, Guns. I watched the first Rocky, and I do this like every 2 years. I'm gonna watch the first Rocky movie in about a 2 year time frame. I'm probably gonna put it on,
Okay.
and that always make me go into the '80s bag. So it be that type stuff, and then that always go to like Michael Jackson and all that other shit.
I
But
mean,
music was so much, man. Music was so dope in the '80s. The '80s get a bad rap.
yeah, it certainly does. The 80s and even the really first part of the 90s. I like a lot of 60s and 70s, depending on like with what I'm going through. Like my typical go to for a workout, and don't hate me, it's probably gonna be a Beyonce. Like if I'm out walking, it's gonna be the Homecoming album live, right? Just because of the tempo of it, right? And it's got the live bands and everything. Every 2 to 3 minutes, she's changing, for something next. And so again, I can keep the tempo with that. And like you said, by the time it finishes, I've done like 2 miles and I'm coming back to the car by the time it's wrapping up. It's got a good tempo to it. Sometimes I like Rihanna like that. If I'm just in like a chill mode, if it's like if I hadn't walked all week or done anything in several days, I'm probably gonna do like SZA, like her Essentials album or something like that, right? Because it's gonna give me what I need. But like I do a lot of traveling back and forth. I'm probably gonna put on some 60s or 70s soul album or something like that, especially if it's later in the evening. Just something for my mind to chill. But when I went to Charlotte last weekend, I was really feeling Erykah Badu.
You can't
Like,
go wrong with Erica.
you cannot. But I just woke up with like some Erykah Badu in my spirit, and I was like, "Bet that's what we rolling with today."
I tried to listen to the Isley Brothers, and I realized I slowed my pace down. So I kind of steer away from that type of 67. Like I listen to some James or something. The Mike Jennings albums are just always one of those just go to albums. I try to listen to the up tempo '90s album because I just feel like I don't want to slow too far now. Like I'm enjoying the walk. I just don't want to slow too far because you got to keep your heart rate up just a little bit. But like I said, I can't listen to all that crunk stuff and
it's too much.
Space stuff.
Now, if I'm doing an indoor workout and I know I'm going to start on the elliptical machine, real talk, it's going to be Sierra. Again, she's got the right tempo, and because she's such an athletic, entertainer, she's going to keep it going, right? Because you think about Get Up,
All her stuff was.
all her stuff,
She wanted to dance. She always did. So
it's because she's a dancer. So you trying to keep, I'm trying to get up and keep the tempo and move and everything like that. And I can tell by, like which song it is on her Essentials album as well, like where I am in my workout. And if I'm not where I feel like I should be, each time I'm like, oh, you got to speed up, or oh, you're going too fast. Or if it's like, for some reason, if it's one of her slow songs, I'm like, oops, Skip, you're gonna throw me off. You know what I mean? Because she just has the right energy, and people don't realize sometimes the right artist and the right energy that can really fuel your workout.
that's what music is for. Music is it's the reason why you drive fast. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even know I was doing 90. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The music, that's what music does.
It kind of also make you do that. Damn, did I stop at that red light? I don't remember that tree. I don't remember passing so and so because your mind is
That was one of the trends not that long ago. Your 90 and a 30. What song is gonna make you do 90 miles an hour in a 30-mile-an-hour zone?
Yep.
I don't know.
Stop.
But either way, we talking about all kinds of stuff, man. You brought up the grind of podcasting or streaming.
I was pivoting from what you guys sent to me, which was podcasting versus traditional news outlets, right?
Yeah.
Same difference. I mean, it's in the same wheelhouse,
Yeah,
so we
same.
can do that as well.
Yeah.
I feel like the easy modern, not modern, the traditional news network did not pivot with the internet. You know what I'm saying? So that is why there is so much misinformation. That is why we get most of our news from an IG feed. You
Oh yeah.
feel me? Um, and then with the political landscape, we just like everybody blowing holes in the national media. You know what I'm saying? Those accredited sources. So you got people that be like, I ain't gonna believe it till TMZ say it,
Right.
which is crazy.
Because if TMZ didn't say they died, they did not die.
Right.
Yeah. Until TMZ said Malcolm Jamal Warner died, he did not die.
Yeah. I just feel like traditional, like our brother said, like we saw the holes of traditional, but I feel like traditional is needed for the real true journalists. Because that is an art, it's a craft to find the truth. But I feel like podcasts is necessary to get people's points of views across, because before podcasting and social media, we weren't heard. It was only the news.
Right.
I feel like they both need to be here, because traditional will the checks and balances.
Yeah.
I feel
It's
like
crazy though. The as far as like I as the person that I am, I don't give a fuck what they talk about on Fox.
Yeah.
But MSNBC and CNN, they got an agenda too.
They do.
You feel me? So I feel like you have to, between the five of them, you got to take the time to decipher what's real and what's not. But I'm always gonna be like, fuck Fox.
True. Only time I like Fox is when they start calling themselves out. I'm like, oh, the hypocrisy is that bad that you had to call yourself out. Like, okay. But yeah, I do feel like podcasting was born out of necessity because standard traditional news is the standard, right? The problem is like you said, Carolina, they were only giving it to you from the perspective that the editor deemed okay, right? That's the only perspective you got. You only got the story that the editor wanted told, right? And when they wanted it told. But with podcasting, anybody can decide, hey, I really want to deep dive into this. I want to tell it from this perspective. I want to go further. I want to, get it. And you don't have to wait forever, right? Like
Right.
we can do something. We can look it up right now and podcast it in 5 minutes, and then it's out there. Whereas with a traditional story, you have to go through, the process. They got to have their morning meetings about it, and it's got to be approved, and it's got, all this other stuff. So, but then again, like you said, it's a checks and balances there because in theory, they should be verifying sources and making sure that it's credible and, that it's fair and all that other kind of stuff. But with podcasts, you just get into the raw, like I like to say the raw data as quickly as possible. And because we have such short attention spans, we need this. Like we need constant information. We need constant data. We need constant conversation, or else we're just going to perish, right? Because we can't think for more than 5 minutes in silence. I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah, I like podcasting because, like you said, if somebody has a story, we don't have to wait on the point of view of the news.
Right.
Like, they can just. You have more famous people doing podcasts than you have seen on the news talking about the same topic or the same subject. And it just allows the information to flow a lot better. But I like the conversational aspect because when you're sitting at home, it's the same conversation. That's why I try to tell people when they're talking about starting podcasts, it's just you having a conversation. You need the facts, But when you sit and talk with your homegirl or your homeboy or your cousins, y'all don't have all the facts, but you're having a conversation, and that's the start of everything, the conversation. So that's one reason why I do like the podcast front. But it's also, like I said, it's checks and balances, because a lot of times the news calls out, the misinformation. They don't say what the misinformation is, but you can figure out what they're talking about is misinformation. But once again, I just like the checks and balances of it. You need both of them. It's the good and evil, the yin and the yang.
To me, I think where it started elevating, where the traditional news media started dying, is 2020 pandemic, Black Lives Matter, protests. The news is telling you that these protesters ain't protesters. They looters, and they over here setting fires, and they doing shit. But people that were vlogging and podcasting was like, nah, we just protesting. I don't know what the fuck they doing over there. You feel me? So just like, God bless LA and the fires. The national news media, the major news media, they was putting out what they wanted you to see. There was a dude that got on his e-bike and was literally riding down all these streets. Okay, I can't go down that street because it's on fire and the authorities got it blocked off. But on this street, it's not. Like, he was giving real-time factual news. The issue is, because everybody can podcast, you have to have checks and balances. And that's why they won't go anywhere. Because you got people that are red hatters that is going to give you their perspective. And the problem with some podcasts is your opinion is not fact.
It's not.
A lot of times when we get to talking about politics or cryptocurrency, when we talking about real life things, one of the first things I'll say is, this is a conversation that I'm having with my brother. Go check for yourself. You know what I'm saying? I feel like there's not enough people that are in this podcast space, that are in this creative or vlogging space, that don't say, that act like their opinion is fact. That's what I say.
And no, I was gonna say that is actually the beauty of podcasting, is that one, it does not have the same, I guess, checks and balances or requirements that traditional news media that they have. Like, it doesn't have to meet all these different standards. Like you said, it is strictly somebody's opinion. Whereas you can still be, I guess, sued for like slander or malice or something like that, but it's your opinion. Whereas if you say it on the news and you're lying, or even if you don't even know you're lying, you can be sued for that, right? They have different there are protections for traditional media versus podcasters, because, as you said, they say this is just our opinion. This is from our perspective or whatever. Figure it out for yourself, like you just said. But the news doesn't have that same, veil to hide behind. And I think that's also why podcasting has become so prevalent, is because anybody can get on here and essentially say whatever it is that they want to say, right?
For
it doesn't
sure.
matter how fact-based their information is. It doesn't matter how lie-infested their information is. They can say whatever they want to say, and essentially you really can't do a whole lot about it.
What for you, when you started radio or podcasting or however you want content, what was your motivation to start, or what was your idea that then compared to now that you've done it for so long?
Really, it was just that I just want to do something creative with my friends. It was just a chance to have a creative outlet. And I think that's what it is for a lot of people, to be honest, right? Because it's only so many traditional news outlets or traditional media outlets that we can get on. It's only so many time slots, right? And so everybody doesn't have the ability to be out and, on a platform to be heard. But with podcasting, you can get yourself or a couple of whoever, and y'all can just, whatever your vision is, whatever your thought is, you can just put it out there. Like, you don't have to run it by anybody. It's just content based. How much content? When can you give us this content? It's just a matter of numbers, and that's essentially how and why I got started. Because my friends were like, "Oh, this is new," and God, I think I did my first podcast probably 15 years ago. Yeah, because I did not have children, and I have a 12-year-old now. So I think, and that first show was called Butter Grits.
Now that's a big bag.
Or just the name of a podcast.
The name of the podcast, Butter Grits.
I feel like the other beautiful thing is we talk about not getting the proper coverage for certain subjects. And now, good, bad, or indifferent, if your thing is the man versus female war, you got 100 podcasts that do that. If it's the diaspora wars, you got 100. You can go to different places to get the information that feeds your soul. So that's always good. For me, historical information is always good. I'm big on documentaries. I didn't think I was gonna fall into this true crime shit, but I'm real deep into this true crime shit now. Especially because we be thinking that people are regular, and people are absolutely out of their damn mind. So that's the beautiful part, is going out there and finding the things that move you. You feel me?
I think people forget. I think everyone said content is new currency, and I think that's the venom of podcasts, because people look at the numbers and then they try to create. They try, like, especially now, they found out the hashtags and the SEOs, so they'll list something as a title, and it has nothing to do with the content that they're putting out. So that's like the venom part of podcasting, because you're trying to tell me it's not the fact that, like, you're lying to me. Like, just state what your podcast is about and leave it alone. But people are so caught up in numbers, and that's why a lot of people quit, is because they didn't get the recognition or the numbers or the algorithm. I got blacklisted from the algorithm. Like, they got all these reasons, but when you first started, a lot of people didn't start for the numbers. They didn't start just to get paid. They wanted to be heard. They had an opinion about something. It's like the relationship ones. I hate relationship podcasts because it's always an angle. Like, very seldom do you get the real authenticity of the conversation. A lot of it is just an angle, and you can tell within the first 15, 20 minutes of the, maybe 15, 20, you can tell within the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Of the angle.
You can tell when it's 7.5 minutes of advertisement before it even starts. Like, you know what time it is. This is easy for me to do because I'm kicking it with my family. Like, we have real, genuine connections with the people that pop in on this with us. You feel me? But I guess I don't pay attention. That's it. I don't pay attention to shit that I don't care about. If I have an issue with podcasting, is some of the limitations, some of the things that will get you shadow banned, some of the things that will get you out of the algorithm for simply saying, because I said instead of pew pew, because I said instead of unalive, because I said instead of SA. Like, stop acting like we don't know what these words mean.
Yeah.
Well, you don't do it if it's in a song. You do it if it's on a podcast, but you don't do it if it's in a song.
Or a movie, or a TV show.
I heard it was an old clip of Kanye talking. I heard it Friday. That shit made me think. He was like, people get mad when I call myself a guy, but they don't get mad if I say I'm a pimp or I'm a gangster or I'm a drug dealer.
Mm.
You know what? You made fucking sense just now.
Even Kanye, you know what I'm saying?
Even a broken clock.
Yeah, but
Twice a day.
But that's so simple. Like my brother said, if I say all the other stuff, you shadow ban me. But if I say I'm a gangster, I'm a killer. Oh, I got 1 million views, 2 million views in 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So how is that fair? Like Motivated Minds. He's always posting something inspirational, motivational, knowledge,
Educational.
He does post really good videos.
Yeah, but like he says, like there's no reason why he only has like 6 views or 10 views on some real good content. And I know it's frustrating. I mean, there's times we've had great conversation on here that's frustrating. But it is what it is, and he just loves what he's doing, so he continues to do it. And that's what I say.
Yeah.
Like my brother said, when people be like, you still doing a podcast? It's a podcast, but it's really a conversation because there's sometimes I don't even talk to my brother until this time next week.
Wow. Okay.
You know, there's sometimes we don't talk to you until we bring you on the show, or when we first started, the people that know us, when we first started our first 200 episodes, we had real connections with about 100 guests. Like we have real connections, so it's just real conversations. But I definitely agree with Kanye. If I talk about other stuff, you don't want to listen. But if I talk about the bad stuff, you want to broadcast it for the world. Like I said, Motivated Minds talks. He has some real good stuff.
He does. He really does.
It's not allowed to flourish because I guess the algorithm don't like it.
Or I don't know, man. It's weird and it's a whole nother conversation. But you will ask me if I'm still doing my podcast when you could just look at it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because they're not looking. They're not.
Like you asking me if I'm doing the shit, you can look. It's a record. They chronologically ordered.
Not looking.
I tell you every time I did it.
Absolutely not looking.
Yeah.
If you want to,
I'm gonna be in Columbia this weekend. I'm gonna come to the Dutch Fort game on Friday.
Who they play Friday?
I don't know. It's the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, they beat they won last week. But like our conversation today was, hey, did y'all do a show last week? And I feel like a lot of people encourage us, or a lot of people say you still doing it, but we tell any and everybody, you know, you can be a guest. But we try to make it that simple where if you see us and really support us, you know, there's a lot of people that support us, but you know, don't come on. But it's a conversation that we're having. Like they say, hey, if you think about doing it, you think about doing it. But there's people that won't say, are you still doing it? We still doing it, but you know, you can come on too. I've offered it. I tell every guest, we have an open chair. We have no rules. There's no limitation of what we can do. We flipped so many conversations. You can come on this podcast if you want, but in a sense, it's still gonna go on until we say it's not on. It's still gonna go on, but it's really just a conversation.
I didn't, because I'm telling you, it didn't pop up on my feed. And usually when you post like the link, you know, it's like always like my reminder. And I don't always get to listen to the whole show, but I might pop in for a few minutes and see what y'all talking about, who you're talking about, or whatever, and then pop on back out. But I was just like, I didn't see it last week, and I was like, I don't remember seeing it the week either before. And I was like, well, maybe they took a break to retool, or hell, they was just tired. I don't know. That's when I texted him, was just like, hey, what's going on? Because I didn't see it.
Yeah, real life shit.
Yeah, we had a guest last week, and I'm talking about like right before we go live, realized he wasn't coming. So we kind of made it work. It wasn't the best show, but when do you have the best conversation? A lot of times you don't realize you had a great conversation till it has you thinking about it later. And that's another thing people don't realize when doing a podcast. Like, it's been many times I overthought a podcast. I think I was rude to one guest, but she never wanted to come back after that.
Probably was.
Yeah, I was, but if you would have saw me in person, it would have been the same energy.
That don't make it right.
It don't make it right. But like you said, I'm still gonna be me.
Because let me tell you, in the streets, the people be saying, I'm just kidding.
At the end of the day, I think we do a decent job of being inclusive. I think we do a decent job of, having an interaction. You know what I'm saying? Whether people pull up or not. I think people want to see the fly shit. They want to see you on the leather sectional. They want to see elephant ear plant in the background, some incense, and all of that. And we doing what we can do for this particular time. You feel me? At the end of the day,
let me light my candle real quick, then.
Yeah, at the end of the day gonna end. People like what they like. They do what they do, and as long as you good, I'm good. You feel me? I don't get any. I don't know. I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to say it. Do what you feel comfortable doing, but don't blow no smoke up nobody's ass. Be who you are when you on this. And now if you create a character on this internet shit and you can live with the character you created, that's cool too. I can't create a character. I'd much rather be me. I've been fighting my entire life to be me.
You a character.
So I'm just gonna be me.
You're a real life character.
I think I'm pretty regular.
He was the first emoji.
I don't even know what he just said. He just be making up shit. What's some emoji?
You do look like the emoji though. With the yellow. No, but Tiki, when you first started podcasting, right? And what motivates you to keep going?
Again, it was the creative outlet, to be honest, right? It was just like, okay, we did the first one. It didn't last long for creative differences, right? Because you got 3 people who never done it, who are all very different creatively. And you did a few and it's just like, okay, we're not the same. And, we just kind of disbanded to preserve the friendship. And that was okay, right? But I was kind of like, oh, I kind of do like this, right? And so it was just like, well, we'll try it again. So, we tried it again. We retooled it after I had maybe my second daughter. We retooled then. And by that time, I had gone on and done like internet radio for a while. That kind of, pushed me towards some other things. And then I was working someplace a few years ago, like right before the pandemic hit, and was talking with a guy and did not know that he was big into podcasting, right? And so we're talking and he was just like, I'm gonna be honest, I really love your voice. And so, that's how we got to talking about podcasting. And I was like, yeah, I've done a few. And he was just like, hey, like I've been doing this thing for forever. And we just kind of looked at each other's stuff and he was just like, I need you on my team. And I was like, I don't know. And it was a panel, like a ton of them on there. And then once the pandemic hit, like, we don't have anything else. So like I hopped on that. And it was cool during pandemic because you were home all the time. So you could do, a show for however long because, there's nothing else to do. But once things kind of opened back up, it was a little harder for me to do. He still does it. Shout out to M16 in the radio show. And but again, it was about being able to be creative and just have that outlet and being able to, to vent or to rant or to voice your opinion, however you wanted to. It was being able to be whoever you wanted to be unapologetically is exactly what it was for me. I could be whoever I wanted to be. whatever Tiki felt like showing up is what I could be. If I felt like being mild mannered, I could. If I felt like being edgy and racy, I could. If I felt like, not even showing up, I could. It was just like whatever the creativity was flowing through me at that point is how I could show up. And that's really what has kept me going.
I did it almost like you said to save the friendship. I just feel like if you're having conversations, you're friends because you can get past each other's faults. So how did it almost?
I think it's a little bit different. In your friend group, you could say something to, let's call him Ephraim. You could say something to Ephraim, and because it's y'all two, he don't take it no kind of way, right? But if you and Ephraim say it on this box and it's recorded for the rest of the life and you played the shit out of Ephraim, or you didn't play him, but you was having a conversation, but now you got 1,000 people telling Ephraim, I wouldn't have let him talk to me like that.
Yeah.
It's going to cause an issue.
Yeah. Or when you have 3 or 4 people, however many people you have, if 2 of you all have similar creative energies, you're going to tend to lean towards that. But that third person, you may not lean into their ideas as much because, it's not the majority rule, right? So then that third person is feeling like, well, darn, every time I bring up something, y'all don't like it, or, like I feel like my ideas aren't valid or not being heard. And it's just like, well, then when you finally do kind of lean into their ideas, it's like, well, now are you leaning into my idea just to pacify me, right? And so then it turns into, well, shit, no matter what we do, you're never satisfied, so, it just kind of starts going like that. So, after a while, you're like, it's not really worth, having these types of conversations, because for me, at the end of the day, I don't want podcasting to feel like work, right? It's my creative outlet. And so if when I go to work, I have to get along with people. I have to be flexible with people. I have to give, I have to, be, more docile than I may normally want to be, in a social setting. And so when you're working with a team of people on a podcast and you start feeling like, oh, I've got to be like that, it's like, well, I don't want to do this anymore. But, Carolina, that's the same thing I've told you as to why I just don't do my own show anymore. Just because it does get labor intensive, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I already know. I'm gonna keep going.
I dunked on him too. That's what he went. I dunked on him too.
That ain't what.
For anybody who's seen that.
But like it's a lot of work that goes into it. You alluded to it before, Caroline. Like, you got to get your show topics together. You got to make sure, you got to have the theme. Like, it's got to make sense. There's got to be a flow to it. And Jay, you can attest to this. That week that Caroline's electricity went out and we just had to wing it, and you didn't have the flow like you normally do. Like,
saying like we don't pay no electricity bill over here. You ain't got to say.
You ain't had no power. You should have paid your bill.
It was like a storm or something. It came through.
It wasn't no storm. He ain't pay his light bill.
Sometimes they don't pay his internet bill. That's why his internet keep going out.
Whoa. Don't just start waving the gun all willy-nilly shooting everywhere, cuz. We was talking about him. Jesus. Yeah, I'm telling you, she just went in the bank and just started in every direction. You get a pew. Get a pew.
One of y'all can start talking about my collarbone, and the other one start talking about my head, and it's okay then. But when I start talking about y'all don't pay y'all light bill and your electric bill, whoa, it's not okay then.
All I said was your shoulders was little.
You said 2 people like-minded creative ideas. We the host. We up here.
Nah, I mean,
I'm a co-host on here. Hush.
Right.
absolutely. Nah, man. Shout out to Soft Light Society. My homeboy he created a YouTube page. It's very much some.
Get it right. The dude that dunked on you, so people know.
It's Soft Light Society on YouTube. Mr. Black on TikTok. He does a lot of esoteric, ethereal, spiritual, spooky shit. He be into that spooky shit. Sometimes I'm cool. Sometimes I be a little bit like, oh man, I don't really want to fuck with Revelations right now, but I know what's in there. But either way, Soft Light Society, man, y'all check him out. But whatever your content is, everybody's not a creator. This is what I'm finding out. I try to push everybody to kind of get into the lane of creating content. And some people don't know what their content is. You feel me? So I think that's the first step.
Yeah.
Is finding out what you are really truly interested in and what that content would look like. You feel me?
Until you start creating that content, it really may not come to you. And I'll just say that because like I started thinking when I was going to start doing TikToks, right? My content was going to be one thing, right? But it has kind of morphed a little bit. And like, I'm literally now starting to get people that are like, hey, can I do a walk with you? Right. And I was just like, and the first time somebody said, I'm like, you gonna walk with me? And she was like, yeah, like your videos are cool, and if you always walking someplace kind of cool, and and I'm like, okay, so like I got a couple of that I need to post. There's another I'm supposed to do this week that I didn't get a chance to do, and I think I'm coming to Columbia this weekend, and I'm gonna do one in Columbia. So you should walk with me. Where you gonna be Saturday?
Oh,
you.
Eating grits on the couch watching football.
Walk with me Saturday morning.
Yeah, get your weighted vest out the closet since you can walk fast everywhere.
I can drive fast too.
He said I went walking yesterday. That shit hard.
Anyway, I feel you. Say, go ahead, Tiki. I got something to say after that.
If you eat less smash burgers, it's easier to walk. That's what I'll say.
He was walking yesterday hard.
Right.
Nah, but
on some real shit. Like I've been working on my feet. You know what I'm saying? My feet bad. The army jacked up my feet. So I have been a little bit more active. You know what I'm saying? With that, I got to get my back together too, though. But I can't get my back together if I don't walk. So as much as I'm never gonna run, I'm only running if something is chasing me. So I'm probably gonna end up just pulling a hammy or tearing my ACL. But nah, man, it's necessary for people of a certain age, all people, because there's some fat ass kids out here too. And maybe that's another strike that's gonna get me shadow banned. But let's be real. Some of these kids lazy as fuck. You ain't asked them to do shit, so they're not gonna do shit. You feel me? So yeah.
I don't like when they show the fat baby, like real big. My baby so like the real baby still in diapers.
Babies, I'm not gonna mess with no fat babies. Is just the thing that's gonna happen. You're gonna have some big babies that's bigger than others. I'm talking about, okay, he's 7. Why is he eating a double quarter pounder? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, stuff like that. I mean, those babies still in diapers eating like whole chickens.
Nah, but it's important for people to build your temple, enrich your temple. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking my vegetable intake up. You know what I'm saying? Getting my starch game down because I'm a rice bread, pancake, grits eating. You know what I'm saying? I love those things. Those things make me feel good. They make me feel better than walking.
I was gonna do the the stuff, the drink for the colonoscopy, just to cleanse those. I was gonna drink one of those one weekend.
I've done that.
I got a 15-day gut cleanse because I made it to day 5. Pause, no pause, I don't give a fuck. My asshole was tired of shit. I that it's a fit. I'm like, who the fuck is doing this for 15 goddamn days?
How much did you lose though?
Bruh, honestly, I probably lost about 5 days. I probably lost about 6 pounds.
What did your skin do?
But I was tired.
Yeah, you were.
Like, did your skin look? Because a lot of people say like your skin start.
Well, shit. Hold on, cuz you see me? I'm smooth out, a little less blemishes. You know what I'm saying?
Emoji head. You know the emoji head, the emoji we use.
Man, you so whack. I'm about to mute your ass.
I'm about to go. I'm gonna go to bed.
What I want to say is D-Tech. He used to do the car rider line, and I always say I want to do it. He's always on Instagram, and he would just go live on Instagram while he's picking up his kids in the car rider line. And I always say I want to do it. They never do it.
Oh yeah,
I think that's a good one. I think a good check-in with your kid is always gonna be good content because
he'll turn off when the kid gets like while he when he in line waiting to pick him up. Like when you just sitting in that long ass car ride line, he would go live and just talk to people. I thought that was pretty dope.
That is dope. I mean, anything that you're doing on whatever your ritual might be, you know what I'm saying? If you feel like sharing that ritual with the public, that's a good way to start.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do my own cooking one. I used to always took pictures after I finished cooking, so everybody had jokes. It's canned food shit. Nah, I be really cooking.
Okay.
Yeah, I be really cooking. If I got music going, that food gonna come out good. Now, can I make the exact same thing again? No, because I be just be dumping seasoning in my shit.
Yeah. Cooking show's always gonna go well, and I think the easier the better. Because look at all these people who can't cook.
Yeah.
I seen some shit on the plate that was 3 different types of food that was all the same color. So
like on that plate.
Wait a minute, cuz you said this is potatoes and steak and green beans. Why is everything brown?
I hate when they put it in the oven and they put raw chicken with all their vegetables and put it in the oven and try to cook it all at one time. I hate that shit.
I don't like that.
It's a bunch of shit I hate on the internet.
But I'm talking about like when it comes to cooking and social media.
I really hate when people waste food for content.
Yeah. Do you see the black?
Like you wasting food, cuz like I get it. Like it's gross and it's funny and it's gonna make people put a lot of comments out. But you're wasting food.
You see the black couple? They got 2 kids and they dump all the food on the table and they eat off the table.
That's a culture thing now. Before you get to talking crazy, that's how we keep getting canceled.
Wasting food. That's just my thoughts, my personal thoughts.
Now I know exactly who you're talking about. I think they are from an African descent or Haiti or something like that, and they be like super hot. That should be steaming.
Yeah, I mean that's a conversation. Yeah. Like if they were to get, I'd like to just to have a conversation. I don't know if nobody ever did that. So to me, it's like wasting. If you got 18 pounds spaghetti on the table, God knows you ain't gonna eat all that spaghetti.
When I'm talking about wasting food, I'm talking about 6 packs of Maruchan with spaghetti sauce and pepperonis and topped with some Pop-Tarts. I'm talking about that bullshit. Like people just be doing the most ignorant stuff on the internet.
That'd be having your ass hurt. That would keep your ass hurt.
Not me.
You see the dragon fruit one? Where they were eating the dragon fruit and that's what they bought it?
I heard dragon fruit. I want to try it, but I heard dragon fruit is not that good.
It's not a strong taste to me. Like I went to the farmer's market and got one. I was just kind of like, all right.
Like it's kind of bitter, right?
Yeah, I also don't like avocado. So don't.
Now that is something that we could do. We could go. Y'all can get with me on this. fuck avocados and guacamole tastes like shit.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
Because
It tastes like it's mush, and I don't understand what's the point in eating it. I'm not gonna. I don't like it.
yeah,
I know people really we get on. My dad got on the smoothie kick, and I said I will get back on. Oh, they like making smoothies. I just don't like bananas. She like putting bananas in it. But I've seen a lot of people lately doing the smoothie kick again. It's coming back. I said I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it over.
I think it's definitely good to get you. I think if you're not one to sit down and eat an apple, peel an orange, eat a pear, I think smoothies is definitely the way to go. Smoothie King, tropical smoothie. Fuck them. Make it yourself, because at $10 a pop,
And it's gonna be
it's crazy.
A bunch of sugar anyway when you get it done. A commercial one, it's a bunch of sugar. But,
that's my point.
So I'm gonna go to bed.
$10 for a drink is crazy. That is a good place to end. Anything you want to talk about? Anything you need to let people know about what you got going on?
No, not doing a whole lot other than keep watching my TikToks and sharing them, and walk with me. And if I'm in a town or a city near you and you want to walk with me, just let me know and I'll walk with you.
I like it. Go ahead, Carolina.
She got an OnlyFans for a collarbone. Hey,
wait a minute. End this show so we can go. Hey man, I appreciate y'all for pulling up to the BOTBLiveShow. I'm Jay Walker III. That's Carolina Dirt. Tiki Blue in the building, always gracing us with her beauty and her presence and her glow. Love the people who lay back. And until the next time, man, y'all be easy. We gone.
Let me give you a little collarbone.